Welcome to Wellywood Wargaming, where the grim dark never sleeps. Crack open a bottle of wild snake and spark up a low stick as we take a journey down Underhive.
Howdy Hive Scum and welcome back to Wellywood Wargaming. In this episode I'm going to be talking all about brutes in a tier listing of every brute in Necromunda. Now I've done this in a very similar way to how I've tiered other things in Necromunda, from gangs to gangers to champions to juves. Here we're going to be talking just about brutes. Now I've used a similar sort of points system here to score everything, and every single category that we've got going on here is scored 1 to 5. Now 1 being the absolute worst, 5 being the absolute best. I've then added these all together and given a score for each of the brutes, then putting them into tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, and the absolute cream of the crop, tier 0. Before I get into this video, please do like, share, subscribe, and check out the Patreon as well. And also do comment down below before you watch this video to let me know what you think is going to be absolutely at the top of this tier listing and what you think is going to be at the bottom as well. I think this one will be quite interesting. Now, just quickly on the categories that I've scored this, we have gone for cost, so how cost efficient this brute is. We've got shooting, we've got close combat, we've got durability, how tough they are, we've got mobility, how fast and flexible they are, also versatility, unique mechanics and special rules. We've got skills and access to those skill trees, as well as gang value. And I think this is a really important one. How much value does this brute give your gang? We've also got options as well, so things like upgrades and extra weapons that you can take on your brutes. How many and how much variety and how good these upgrades are as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. So have you taken a few guesses to which the bottom brutes will be in this tier listing so far? I'd be interested to know in the comments. The absolute worst brute in my book, and this is a personal vendetta against this brute because I just hate the model and the idea of it as well, which I know is very negative, but the Goliath Zerker, I know there are people out there that love the Zerker, but I have to say, in the way that I've scored this, it only comes in at 22 points, and it is absolutely the worst brute in the way that I've scored it here, for a number of reasons. The first thing that really sticks out to me is the sort of value that the brute actually brings to your Goliath gangs is virtually zero. The Goliath Zurka is no better than a Goliath Stimmer. In fact, I would say the champions are better than the brute in most cases. But let's have a look at the stats and the special rules and see why the Goliath Zurka just isn't very good. So the Goliath Zerker comes in at 210 credits, which is absolutely not the most expensive brute. However, it is expensive when you consider its stats and stuff. It's just not that great. The movement is a real problem here. Movement 4 is very, very slow and cumbersome. It's weapon skill 3+, which is better than average. It has a whopping strength 6, which is great. Toughness 5 and 3 wounds. The sort of leadership and cool are okay as well at 6+ and 7+. And it comes with the skill Impetuous, which is a fun skill, gives you a 4-inch consolidation instead of 2 inches, but certainly not a top tier skill. It doesn't have Nerves of Steel or any way to negate pinning, unfortunately. So this guy generally is just getting pinned by lasgun fire and never gets into close combat because of his 4-inch movement. He comes with open fists, which are just your regular strength weapon. They're only damage 1, but they're -1 AP and knockback, which is, it's fun, but it's not very good. However, you can upgrade these, but for a whopping 70 credits, you can get the Mutated Fists and Bone Spurs, which are considerably better. They're 2-inch versatile. They are +1 strength, meaning strength 7, 2 damage and -2 AP as well, with pulverize knockback as well. So they're pretty nasty, but then that takes your Zerker up to 280 credits. And they got another special rule as well called the Combat Chem Stash as well. Each time you're activated, you can roll a D3. If you roll a natural 1, your base attacks go down to just 1, so you'd probably get 3 attacks on the charge, which is still okay. But if you roll anything else, you add that D3 to your base attacks characteristic, and you can get, I think, up to about 8 attacks on the charge, which is great, but like I said, the main problem with this guy is really the fact that it's slow, it's easily pinnable, and it's just not that amazing compared to the other brutes in close combat either, really, especially when you consider some of the Goliath stuff you can take, like your Stimmers and your Goliath leaders and champs and stuff too. The main problem I have with the Zerker, other than the model being absolute garbage, I do apologize for that, but it's true, is the fact that this guy is just offering you nothing to your Goliath gang. Goliaths need something else. And usually that comes through the way of gene smithing. This guy offers you nothing new, just like the Sump Croc offers you nothing new. It is just a lumbering brute that does nothing and offers nothing to your Goliath gangs. So I would say it's nearly always an avoid for me. I'd like to know in the comments, though, if you've had any fun with the Goliath Zerker. Of course, it is, you know, completely up to you whether you want to take these guys and whether they've actually been good in your games. But I can just see myself pinning this every single time with a las gun on a scummer for very little credits. So yeah, it is what it is, and that's why I've put the Zerker down the bottom of tier 3. Also down at the bottom in tier 3, we have both types of Servitor Ogryns here. So the regular Jotun Servitor Auggrin, as well as the Awakened Auggrin as well, which is a Psychic Auggrin, by the way. And although it sounds really fun, it's just kind of bad. The Awakened Auggrin and the regular Auggrin have stats that are exactly the same. They come with the same gear as well, Augmetic Fists ×2. Their weapon skill 4+, they're a bit faster than the Zerker at movement 5, which is good. They're strength 5, toughness 5, and 3 wounds as well, with only 2 attacks though. But the Augmetic Fists are pretty good. They are damage 2, -1 AP, knockback, and +1 strength as well. So you're hitting at strength 6 for that 2s to wound on most guys. There are a couple of upgrades you can take on these things, like the Spudjacker and Storm Welder and Arc Welder and things like that, but at 210 credits, you're adding a lot of extra sort of gang rating to your gang by doing that. We're just talking about the Jotun, or Jotun, by the way, H-grade servitor here, but they suffer from the same problem here, really. They are a bit cheaper for Goliath gangs as well, by the way. You can get discounts on these guys for certain gangs, but at 210 credits, and then if you want to get anything good on them, you're paying plus 70 or 75 credits for stuff. It's just, they suffer from the same problem, albeit they are a little bit faster than the Zerker. That movement 5 really does make a huge difference. They're just not very good, unfortunately, and I can't see myself taking them most of the time. Now, quickly, the Awakened Auggrin is quite an interesting one. We'll talk about this one quickly. This one actually came out in an Apocrypha Necromunda, I believe, and any gang can take these except for Ash Waste Nomads. They have exactly the same stats as the regular Auggrin. They come with, you know, the Augmetic Fist as well. You can't get any of the upgrades on them. However, they do come with weird powers, though, and you can choose from a list of Awakened Auggrin powers, which is restricted. It's a shame. I think this could be house ruled to take any weird powers, and that would make them slightly better, but it's worth mentioning that the willpower on an Awakened Auggrin is an 8+, which is definitely worse than average and makes it quite hard to actually pull off any of these weird powers if you'd like to do that. You can get Iron Arm, you can get Body of Flame, Weapon Jinx, which is actually a really good one, Overcharge, Crush, which is also a really good one, and Terrify, which is also a really good one. So if they come off, then great. And you can get extra ones for 30 credits, each additional weird power as well. Special rules for Ogryns aside from that is Loyal and Slow-Witted. They also get the Headbutt skill as well. Loyal means that they add +2 as an assist in close combat, and Slow-Witted unfortunately means you can't be taken as a group activation as well, so you can't group activate with these guys. And that is really why the Auggrin and the Awakened Auggrin is down at the bottom in tier 3, unfortunately. The next one in tier 3 is unfortunately the Orlock Lugger. This one sounds really cool and kind of is really cool in terms of the idea of it. It's basically a big servitor with guns attached to it and stuff. It's 230 credits, the Orlock Lugger, and it is exclusive to House Orlock as well. It's very slow with movement 4. It's strength toughness 5, similar to a lot of brutes, wounds 3, and it comes with a harpoon launcher. Now that would be cool if you had a decent ballistic skill, but unfortunately it's only got a ballistic skill of 4+ here, and the harpoon launcher just isn't a very good weapon, unfortunately. It does, however, mean that you can upgrade it to either a heavy bolter, which is worth doing perhaps, with rapid fire 2, -2 AP and 2 damage. Very, very nasty weapon. You've also got the heavy flamer and heavy stubber options here as well. It comes with light carapace armor, which means you get that 4+ save, which is quite nice. And it comes with a special rule called weapons platform, and another one called ammo hoppers as well. The weapons platform rule is really good. You can move and shoot. It's basically a built-in suspenser, which is excellent when you consider the heavy flamer, to be honest. But it is an extra 85 credits for that heavy flamer. So you're looking at a guy that's turning out to be over 300 credits just to be able to do that. You know, and if you want the heavy bolter, it's an extra 50 credits. So it's Still not worth it for me with the ballistic skill, the lack of movement, and just the fact that this guy is just really slow and ponderous as well. You also get ammo hoppers, so you can re-roll ammo checks of a 1 as well, which is quite a nice thing to have. But again, you know, this guy is certainly not as good as, say, an Orlock champion with a heavy bolter, or an Orlock leader with a heavy bolter, or something similar like that, which is actually going to be substantially cheaper as well. Sure, it doesn't have as much toughness or wounds and stuff, but you've got higher ballistic skill and much better chance of actually hitting stuff. This guy most of the time can't hit a barn door. So 230 credits without any upgrades. I'd say the Lugger is fairly bad, and that's why I've put him in tier 3. And the last of tier 3, at the top of tier 3, is the Cordor Stig Shambler. This one suffers from some similar problems to the others that I've listed already. However, this one is incredibly expensive. I do like the Stig Shambler. I think the model's quite cool, and my own sort of kit bash for this I'm pretty happy with as well. But 280 credits means a very, very expensive brute here, with only movement 4, weapon skill, ballistic skill 4+ as well. It's got high strength and toughness and wounds. It's got wounds 4 actually, which is pretty nice, but only 2 attacks, so it's a bit of a trade-off there. Comes with a heavy club and either a twin-linked heavy stubber or heavy flamer as well, and flak armor. It comes with a couple of special rules as well: intelligent control and move and shoot, so it can do exactly that, move and shoot, which with the heavy flamer is pretty nasty. Flak armor certainly isn't that exciting either. It's not going to save you, but you have got lots and lots of wounds there. Now, on an already expensive brute, you've got 280 credits, and if you did want to upgrade to the heavy flamer, which definitely is a nasty combination, it's an extra 70 credits, so you're looking at a very, very, very expensive brute there, at well over 300 credits. The special rules for this guy are quite interesting. The move and shoot one is self-explanatory, but then you've also got the intelligent control here, because this is actually 2 guys. There's a little guy on top of a big guy. This fighter may immediately re-roll any failed leadership, cool, willpower, or intelligence checks. So you can re-roll all of your mental checks. That's pretty good, especially considering as the mental stats are absolute garbage on this guy. So you're going to need to want to do those re-rolls. So that's the Cordor Stig Shambler. It is, you know, just far too expensive for what it does. If you got the heavy flamer for free, maybe it would be worth taking, but unfortunately it is well in tier 3, and that is my tier 3 for brutes in Necromunda so far. Did you guess correctly with these guys? Have you had some great experiences with them, or are they absolutely garbage like I've kind of highlighted here? I think so, but you don't take my word for it. You might have had a great time with them in your sort of local meta and stuff, so don't take my word as gospel. Let's look at tier 2 now. Okay, so tier 2 only has 3 brutes in it. This is the smallest category so far. There are much more in tier 1 and only 1 in tier 0. Can you guess which one that's going to be? But we're looking at tier 2 at the moment, and the bottom of tier 2, I've got the Iron Automter. This guy is kind of perplexing and interesting. You could use the Blackstone Fortress sort of Iron Sentinel, whatever it's called. That's a great model for this, actually, because it's armed in exactly the same way as well. The Iron Automter is illegal 14, so you would need to go to the black market trading post to get one of these guys if you were that mental, and it costs 220 credits. The stats are pretty decent. It's movement 5, only average weapon skill and ballistic skill, strength, toughness 5, and 3 wounds, similar to a lot of brutes. Only 2 attacks there as well. However, it does have a whopping cool of 4+, which is fantastic. It comes with a power claw, which is something we haven't seen in Necromunda before. The power claw is strength 5. It's -1 AP and 2 damage with power and pulverize, so it's a pretty nasty close combat weapon. And we've also got the assault cannon as well, which again is a Dark Age weapon that we haven't seen in Necromunda here, and it is 12 inch at short range, 24 inch at long range, +1 to hit at short range with a strength 5, -1 AP, 1 damage, 6+ ammo, rapid fire 2, and scarce. So that 6+ ammo and scarce is definitely a downside. However, if it hits you, it's pretty nasty. Rapid fire 2. It's similar to a heavy stubber, but shorter range. It's pretty decent. Strength 5. It's almost like a cross between a heavy bolter and a heavy stubber, really, but shorter range and only 1 damage. Anyway, I'm rambling already. It comes with Fearsome and Nerves of Steel, which are 2 skills that are really, really good on a brute. Nerves of Steel, particularly combined with that cool of 4+, makes for a really, really scary brute and a walking gun platform that can just mulch anything that he gets near. It's also got Fearsome as well, meaning that you'd have to pass a willpower check to fight this guy too. It comes with some special rules, however. It's all sounding good so far, right? It comes with some special rules which unfortunately completely ruin it and make it not worth taking, if you ask me. And the first one is really glitchy. As you can imagine, this is not good. So when an Iron Automata activates, roll a d6, and if the result is a 1, it gains the insane condition. So there are going to be games where this is going to happen in your first turn, and your opponent will take control of it and just shoot your own guys or claw them up with your power claw. And it's going to happen, unfortunately, and it's really, really bad. However, it's also got Man of Iron, which is another special rule here, 3+ save, which is really, really good. So heavy carapace armor, effectively. And then it's also got automated repairs. An Iron Automata have limited self-repair capabilities. In the recovery phase, the Iron Automata recovers a wound on a d6 roll of 6+. Iron Automata may also roll an extra injury dice, a bit like a sort of, Medicaid kit or something. But you can do this and just pick the result whenever you like. It's pretty nice, really. Also, though, on that really glitchy, when an Iron Automata is taken out of action, before rolling for any lasting injuries on a 1, the Iron Automata is lost and removed from the gang's roster, which is really harsh. If you spent a bunch of money on it, it turns insane in game 1, implodes and someone kills it, and it disappears from your gang. It's going to be a massive, massive, investment just down the drain, I suppose. So that's why, unfortunately, the Iron Automata, although it is cool, has to go in the bottom of tier 2 here. We've then got the Scrapcode Corrupted Ambot. Now, this one is a bit of a mouthful there, but not your regular Ambot. This one is a corrupted sort of chaos Scrapcode Ambot, and it is kind of interesting. It's 220 credits, and it suffers from some of the same downsides that the Iron Automata has here. It gets Tunneling Claw ×2. It's slow. It's only movement 4. It's weapon skill 3+, though. It's strength toughness 5, 3 wounds, la-di-da. So the same as a regular Ambot. However, it can be upgraded with a Grav Fist instead of the normal fist, but usually I wouldn't do that. It's just not worth it, unfortunately. It comes with different skills to the regular Ambot. So the regular Ambot is really good because it comes with Infiltrate. The problem with a regular Ambot is it gets pinned easily. And again, that's something that you'll see as something I highlight a lot with brutes, how easy they are to mitigate by just getting pinned. The Scrapcode Corrupted Ambot, however, instead of having Infiltrate, gets Nerves of Steel, and again has a call of 6+. It's decent. So this guy's usually on his feet. However, you can't Infiltrate. It comes with Berserker as well, by the way, and it's got 3 attacks as well. So you've got 6 attacks on the charge, I think, with those horrible, horrible fists. It also has light carapace armor, so a 4+ save there as well. However, comes with some downsides as well, and they are as follows. We've got the Machine Madness here. So all attacks made by a Scrapcode Corrupted Ambot have the Reckless trait. In addition, a Scrapcode Corrupted Ambot seriously injures a fighter or takes them out of action. Roll a d6 on a 1. The Scrapcode Corrupted Ambot immediately gains the Insane condition again, which is hugely bad if you do roll that 1. Should a Scrapcode Corrupted Ambot be captured by a rival gang and not be rescued, it may be sold to the guilders as normal. However, if another outlaw gang captures it, the Ambot is not rescued. They may choose to either sell it on the black market for its cost in credits or keep it and add it to their gang's roster for free, assuming they have sufficient reputation to take the extra hanger-on or brute as well. So at 220 credits, it's probably worth it. The Nerves of Steel is fantastic. It's got really good close combat weapons as well, and range with that melter, which is really nasty. We're going to talk about that later on the regular Ambot, but I just don't think it's as good as the regular Ambot personally, mainly because it doesn't have Infiltrate, and Infiltrate is so massive on a brute. If you can put a massive, scary dude with melter fists in someone's back line in the beginning of a game, that is really hard to deal with. So that's why I've put this one in tier 2 compared to the regular Ambot, but I could probably put it a little bit higher, but I think, again, that insanity that could kick in on this thing could really ruin your day. So, again, that's why I've scored it a bit lower here. At the top of tier 2, we have the Mutated Auggrin. Now, I actually love this guy. I've used it in several gangs in the past, and it's definitely the best of the 3 Auggrin types. If you ask me, it's 210 credits, and it's available to any outlaw gang. It's pretty good. It's got better stats than a regular Auggrin as well. It's movement 5, weapon skill 3+, which is slightly better, strength toughness 5, wounds 3, and 3 attacks, so it has more attacks here as well. It doesn't, however, come with the Augmetic Fists. It comes with Open Fists ×2. 2, which are -1 AP and knockback, the same as the Zerker actually. But you can upgrade it for the horrific appendage, which I really enjoy saying, and that one is -1 AP and 2 damage with pulverize and rending. That's pretty nasty, but also a power maul as well, which is strength +2, -1 AP and power. This guy comes with true grit, which is a very, very good skill, and a random ferocity or savagery skill. So you get to choose either the ferocity skill tree, which is excellent, or the savagery skill tree, which is only usually available to corpse grinders. You can choose and roll on this, and if you get lucky, you could get some really, really good skill combinations on this guy. So avoid people in your campaigns trying to farm this guy, buy one, roll a bad skill, sell it, buy another. Things like that would be really sketchy. But if you got, Nerves of Steel and True Grit on this guy, it would be pretty strong. You could also, by the way, use the model from the Blooded Kill team, which is perfect for this. It is, in fact, the model this is based on, I think, because it has the power maul and the horrific appendage there as well. You do have the option of any Auggrin, any of the 3 Ogryns, actually giving them furnace plates for 15 credits as well, which is usually worth it for that 5+ save in the front arc. However, it does have some special rules here as well. It doesn't come with headbutt like the regular Auggrin. Instead, it gets much better. It gets True Grit and a random skill, which is Murderous Brute. And then you've got Slow Witted as well, which is the same as the regular Auggrin. You cannot use this guy in group activation. So overall, I think the Mutated Auggrin is really solid and just pretty decent all around. It's also a lovely model if you get that Blooded Kill Team one as well. At 210 credits, I'd say it's worth it, and the upgrades are actually usually pretty good. The the Power Maul is +30 credits, and the Open Fists to Horrific Appendage is only 20 credits as well. So is worth considering. I actually quite like the Mutated Auggrin, and now we're going to start looking at the absolute best brutes in the game in Tier 1. Have you guessed correctly so far? This is a bit of a weird one. This is the bottom of Tier 1 now, and we have the MalStrain Genestealer. Now, the MalStrain Genestealer is incredibly powerful, is an excellent fighter all round. Insane stats, tons of skills, really scary. The main downside, of course, is you can only take a MalStrain Genestealer as a brute in a MalStrain corrupted gang. So that's your main problem. You're not really going to see this much, as most people aren't going to be running MalStrain corrupted gangs. However, if you do, you're absolutely going to want to take this guy because it is just really good. It's 270 credits, very expensive. It is a close combat monster with movement 6, weapon skill 3+, strength toughness only 4, so it's not quite as strong as other brutes, but with 3 wounds, 3 attacks, and razor sharp claws and venomous bite, things get pretty nasty. It also comes with 4 inbuilt skills, by the way, which is very generous, with dodge, evade, nerves of steel, and rain of blows, all solid skills there. It also comes with an inbuilt mesh armor and bio booster as well, which are nice things to have too. There aren't really any downsides to the MalStrain Genestealer. The only reason why it isn't scored a bit higher than this is the fact that it just isn't available to other gangs, really. But in its own right, it is a very, very solid brute indeed. Just not the absolute best that we're going to be talking about very soon. The next one is an absolutely meaty boy, and that is the Vartig Exo Driller. This guy is huge. It is a whopping gun platform that you get only for squat prospectors. It's 250 credits and comes with an inbuilt heavy flamer, which is really nasty, and it's the squat heavy flamer with the Firestorm special rule there as well. So the inbuilt heavy flamer, pretty great. The stats are, it's very slow at movement 4, quite ponderous like you'd expect from anything squat. It's only strength 4 as well, but it does have ballistic skill 3+, toughness 5 and 3 wounds. It's also got fairly decent mental stats on the whole as well, and it comes with a Vartig Fist on the other arm as well, which is 2 damage, -1 AP, power and pulverize. So that's what it comes with base at 250 credits. It's pretty good, especially when you consider that ballistic skill. It also comes with the Seismic Crusher, which is an inbuilt weapon as well. This one is unique. It's a template weapon. It's only strength 2, and it's got no AP. It's only 1 damage, 6+ ammo, but it's got concussive, seismic, and template. So an interesting weapon, that one. It's worth mentioning that the heavy flamer on this doesn't have the heavy weapon sort of traits, so you can, I believe, move and shoot with this thing as written, although there isn't a rule built into the Vartig to say that you can move and shoot. The heavy weapons that are on it don't come with the sort of heavy weapon trait, meaning that you can't move and shoot with them. Anyway, I'm rambling, but you can also upgrade to a Vartig Heavy Bolter, which I would absolutely do. At 50 credits, you get Rapid Fire 3 +1 to hit at 18 inches, and -2 AP, strength 5, damage 2. So 3 rapid fire. It is absolutely hideous. You can just stand there and just go doof, 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 and just mulch anything that comes near you. It's pretty damn good. You also get the Nobody Pushes Kin skill built in there, which is quite a fun one as well, and light carapace armor with the Guard Exosuit and Sensor Suite here as well. Sensor Suite gives you 3 inches visibility higher than whatever it is on the table at that time, and also you get the Guard Exosuit, which does something for sentries as well. It means that you can always be deployed as an additional sentry regardless of crew selection rules. And that, my lovers, is the Vartig Exo Driller, a pretty good, solid brute, and I'd say probably the most shooty brute out of the bunch so far. Also firmly in tier 1, we have the beast that is the Anthromite Dune Scuttler. This is the Ash Waste Nomads supreme and elite brute that they have. It's very, very good. It's actually fairly cheap as well at 210 credits. Doesn't come with any optional extras or anything like that. It is a close combat monster. The stats are really good as well. It's movement 6, weapon skill 3+. It has strength and toughness 5 and 3 wounds, again similar to a lot of the other brutes in here, but it has 4 attacks and initiative 3 up as well. So very, very, very good on all the stats there. It also has mandibles as its sort of main weapon here. Again, you can't upgrade these in any way, but they're pretty decent, coming in at -1 AP and 2 damage with rending as well. So triggering the double damage or the extra damage on 6s to wound as well. Really nasty. It also comes with heavy carapace armor, so a 3+ save, very, very tanky indeed, and clamber, fearsome, and nerves of steel. So this one really is a goodie. Of course, it is exclusive to Ash Waste Nomad, so no one else can have this, and it really does add a close combat punch and a bit of toughness to your Ash Waste Nomads as well. The fact that it's got a whopping amount of attacks at damage 2 or more, plus movement 6 and clamber, it can pretty much get anywhere very, very easily. So no one is safe from a Dune Scuttler. I did a scenario a little while ago with a Dune Scuttler hunt, and it was really nasty. Took out a lot of fighters. It's got a couple of special rules as well, which are pretty cool. The first one is hard to kill. An Anthromite Dune Scuttler are notoriously hard to kill. When rolling on the lasting injury table, roll twice and apply whichever result you choose. So if you roll a death, a memorable death, and an out cold, obviously you're going to choose the out cold. So most of the time these things survive. It also gets combat as a primary skill set as well, which is quite useful too. But nerves of steel, fearsome, and clamber, 3 really good skills on a very, very solid brute. The next one's a weird one, and this is something that I feel isn't really a brute but still counts as a brute, and that is the Outland Beastmaster. This takes up a brute slot and acts in exactly the same way as a brute. Otherwise, you can take 0 to 2 of them, and they're 100 credits. It is just a guy with a bunch of pets, which is pretty cool actually, and a very fluffy and flavorful. And you can get these from Forge World, again, some really good models here as well. So only 100 credits here for the Beastmaster on his own. Their movement 6, which is pretty great. Average ballistic skill and stuff. A bit like a Scummer, but 2 wounds. So nice to have the 2 wounds there as well. They come inbuilt with a shock stave and a sawn-off shotgun with solid ammo, which is quite interesting too. They also come with fearsome and a skill based on the type of beast that you also take. So if you take Wasteland Giant Rats, they get Dodge. If you take Millisaurs, they get Infiltrate. And if you take Ripperjacks, they get the Catfall skill. So that's probably the worst of the bunch there. And they come with mesh armor as well. And here's the interesting part. You can take different types of pets on these guys. Now you can take the Wasteland Giant Rat, which is the lowest tier of these guys, gives your guy Dodge, and they are 30 credits each. So you could take up to 3 Wasteland Giant Rats. They're okay, actually. They've got regular weapon skill of 4+ and can hurt stuff. They also come with Dodge. Just having a bunch of chaffy rats is quite funny, but it's certainly not the best option. You then get the Millisaur, though. The Millisaur is really nasty, has Toxin, Bite. They're 60 credits each, which is quite expensive, but they come with Infiltrate and 2 wounds as well. So those guys can be quite scary if you infiltrate into someone's backfield with 3 Millisaurs, a guy with a shock stave, and a sawn-off shotgun. it's pretty nice and it's very characterful and fluffy as well. Otherwise, you can get the Ripperjacks as well, which is probably my least favorite, mainly because they cost 70 credits each. They are quite interesting and pretty decent, though. Otherwise, I would say the Militaur is probably the best choice there, honestly. So you're looking at, what are we looking at? 120 plus 100, 220, like 300 credits for 3 Militaurs and the Beastmaster. It's pretty good, and you get lots of stuff for your money there. 4 fighters, 4 items that you can put on the table and just mess stuff up with. So I do like this one. And yeah, I like the models from Forge World as well. You've got lots of different modeling opportunities with these guys. You can do some Skaven with some extra rats like I've done for my Cordor as well. Anyway, that's the Outland Beastmaster, and that's why it's in Tier 1. The next one in Tier 1, and we're in the middle of Tier 1 now, is the Sump Beast. This is awesome. It's 200 credits, and it's available to any Outlaw gang. You have 3 different stat lines to choose from here, which is really cool. So you could make any sort of miniature. You could kit bash anything from Age of Sigmar or any models that you choose. 1 is quite fast and close combat-y. 1 is very slow but very tough with 4 wounds, and then you've got a sort of middle range 1 as well. You can also give them lots and lots of different upgrades. They come with Ferocious Jaws, which are not amazing. They're just -1 AP and rending, but you get to take Crushing Claws, Lashing Tail, and Prehensile Tongue as well, which are all really cool options. The Lashing Tail and the Prehensile Tongue are versatile weapons. The Lashing Tail, versatile 6, so very scary, that one. Crushing Claws are strength +3, -1 AP, and 2 damage with knockback as well, so pretty nasty there too. The Sump Beast comes with Unstoppable, Fearsome, and True Grit, so 3 very good ferocity skills there as well. And the sort of special rules for these guys are as follows. So a little bit of a downside here, you have the Underhive Monster special rule. When a Sump Beast is activated, if there is a seriously injured fighter within 6 inches, friend or foe, it must make an intelligence check. And if it fails, the Sump Beast must make a charge, double action, or a coup de grace as well. So pretty nasty if you've got your own leader downed nearby it and seriously injured. Otherwise, you can also get Scaly Hide as an upgrade, which gives you light carapace armor effectively, and also Venomous Bite, which makes your bite toxin as well, and multiple legs, by the way, which you can upgrade your movement to +2, meaning that the top movement ends up at movement 7. So very nasty. Close combat beast, purely close combat, no shooting on this one, and yeah, pretty good all round with those 3 really nasty ferocity skills too. I really like the Sun Beast, and I think it's a great opportunity to kit bash and paint something up for your Necromunda gangs. Slightly above the Sump Beast, we have the Khimerix. This is the Escher Brute, and it's pretty damn good. It's 220 credits, and it comes with Chemical Cloud Breath, which is a really interesting one. It is a ranged weapon. It's +1 to hit short range, strength 3, blast 3 inches. So it's basically like a mini frag grenade. It's very interesting. It also comes with Talons as well, which are -1 AP, damage 2, and pulverize, which is pretty nasty too. It's fast. It's rapid, actually. Movement 6. It's only got average weapon skill and ballistic skill, but it is strength 4, toughness 5, and 3 wounds again, with 3 attacks too, and fairly average mental stats as well. But the upgrades you can give to this guy are really, really awesome, and it's got some good special rules as well. So for 80 credits, which is a lot of credits, you can give this guy the Gaseous Eruption Breath, which turns its ranged weapon into a template weapon that has gas as well. So a gas template for 80 credits. It could be worth it. It could be really annoying. Of course, you're not pinning people with it, but you know, if you manage to spray a bunch of people and, you know, give them some injuries and stuff, and then you can run in and coup de grace them and just eat them up, gobble them up like the big kitty that you are, you can do that. You've also got the option for a Scaly Hide, which again is 10 credits for a little bit of armor there as well, counts like flak armor, and you can change, you can upgrade to Razor Sharp Talons as well, which are as following. They are +1 strength, -2 AP, and 3 damage with rending as well. So those are really worth considering too for an incredibly powerful close combat weapon. I really like the Khimerix, partly because it is so fast and it has a little bit of shooting in there as well. And those claws, even the baseline claws, are very, very nasty. So pulverize and damage 2 is always great. I like the Khimerix. The main downside for the Khimerix for me, and I've said this so many times before, is the model is absolute garbage. And if you like that model, I can't help you. You can't be helped. It's the worst Forge World Necromunda model, in my opinion. I just hate it. Just like the Zerker. Those two can just get in the bin. So I do apologize if I offended you there, but the little bow on its wrist is just awful. So use a different model. Use the, I don't know, Mind Stealer from Warcry or something. It's a far better model. Anyway, that is the Khimerix. Oh, this one's a good one. This is the Warp Horror, and it's 210 credits. This is a really interesting and flavorful sort of demonic entity that you can get as a brute here. And it's available to any outlaw gang as well. Movement 6, so very fast, just as fast as the Khimerix, and weapon skill 3+ as well, so very good there. Strength 6, but only toughness 4. So it's really hitting you like an absolute tank. It's wounds 3 as well, attacks 3 too, so very, very nice on that one. It comes with horrific appendages, again, I love saying that. This one actually comes with them though. They're -1 AP, 2 damage, pulverize and rending, so that is a really good close combat monster already without any sort of upgrades or anything. It also comes with Nerves of Steel, which is a fantastic skill to have on a brute. Your cool is 6+2, so it's very, very good, this one. I've taken the Warp Horror and it is super scary. It has the ability to upgrade its weapons to Massive Tentacles or Warp Fire Breath as well. Warp Fire Breath is a flamer template, a hand flamer template effectively as well. And the Massive Tentacles are a versatile weapon of 4 inches with Entangle and Drag as well, which is pretty cool. So nice and fluffy, this one. However, there are some downsides in the special rules. The best special rule that it has is Terrifying. So it is like a corpse grinder. You're going to need to pass a willpower check just to be able to shoot or fight this guy, which is a problem, especially when he's got Nerves of Steel and he's bearing down on you with those awful close combat weapons and movement 6 as well. You can also upgrade to Undulating Skin, by the way, which gives you, you reduce the damage of hits by 1, which is excellent as well. The downside to this guy, it is a warp denizen. So the longer it is on the field, the sort of weaker it gets. So in the end phase of each round, roll 2d6. If the result is equal to or lower than the current round in the game, the Warp Horror suffers a flesh wound as a creature of the Immaterium. So they sort of fade away as you go on, and they are only toughness 4 as well, by the way, so it's worth highlighting that next to other brutes. They're not quite as tough, so you can only take a few flesh wounds and you're out of the game. But, with the Terrifying and everything else, they are a really, really solid brute. This one's an interesting one. It's available in plastic in a 2-pack, and this, of course, is the Automter, the Enforcer Sanctioner Pattern Automter. It's 205 credits, and it has a absolute bucket ton of special stuff and different types of weapons and equipment that you can take on this guy. So I'm not going to get into all of them. However, it comes with the Pacifier Assault Claw, which is kind of hilarious. Reminds me of that terrible Vin Diesel film of about 20 years ago, if you remember that. Probably not, because it was garbage. You've also got the Heavy Shock Baton as well, and a grenade launcher array with photon flash grenades. You can have a concussion cannon. You can have a Sanctioner Pattern Man Catcher, which is like a big grabby machine with a webby thing, I think, on it as well. Yes, it's got a sort of web option on there too. We've got the SLHG Pattern Assault Ram, the Sledgehammer, as well as the Auxiliary Grenade Launcher with choke gas grenades, Auxiliary Grenade Launcher with frag grenades, Grenade Launcher Array with choke, photon flash, scare and smoke grenades, and stun rounds as well. So a absolute ton of different options on this guy, making it really quite good actually. It also comes with the Got Your 6 skill and a 4+ like Carapace Armor save too. 2 really good special rules here as well. If you're hiding behind the legs of this thing, you get +1 to your save, basically, and you've also got automated repair systems. So if you're seriously injured, and this guy automatically recovers as if a flesh wound is rolled. You don't need to roll for it. So that is really, really good. It's a solid brute, and although the stats aren't the best, a bit like Palanites really, it's got lots of options and is quite shooty and quite dangerous for a sort of ranged brute as well, with a few template options in there too. It's a decent brute at 205 credits as well. It's well worth it. Okay, we're near the top of tier 1 now, and of course the Ambot had to come up. The Ambot is a fantastic brute, and it's been used by so many people in Necromunda since Necromunda came out in 2017. The Ambot is a staple. It's 215 credits. It's very good. However, it does have a few downsides. Its movement is only 4. Weapon skill's pretty good at weapon skill 3+ though. Strength, toughness 5, 3 wounds, and it comes with light carapace armor as well. So it's very tough and hard to get rid of. The main reason why I like the Ambot Ambot is it comes with Infiltrate. So it can tunnel under the field of battle and come into your back line and be really, really threatening. The other reason why it's so threatening as well is that it's got short-range melter stuff as well. So with only a ballistic skill 5+, if you hit somewhat close range though with your melter fists, then they are just absolutely gone burger. And you've also got the tunneling claws as well, which are pretty decent with -1 AP and damage 2 as well. It's a really solid brute. It's not really got any strong downsides other than the fact that it can be fairly easily pinned, but that's the same problem that you've got with most brutes that don't have Nerves of Steel. Now you can replace one of the tunneling claws for 90 credits, by the way, with a grab fist for a different option on shooting, but I would never say it's worth doing this. 90 credits is far too expensive. The melter is already pretty good, to be honest. And it also has cranial governors as well. So at the start of the game, you can turn your cranial governors off and you get the Berserker skill for free, and its attacks characteristic is then D3+1. However, you must divvy out your attacks towards you as well. So basically it gains reckless, so you just don't want to get near it with your own fighters. Also, in a campaign where you might have the mine workings territory, by the way, in Dominion campaigns, you get an extra D6 to generate income as well, as this guy can basically just be put to work and dig for you, which is pretty cool. It's a really, really good brute. And again, yes, it's slow, but it's kind of mitigated by the fact that it gets Infiltrate, and it's just annoying. People have to deal with it. Sure, it gets pinned and stuff, but if you're not concentrating on the Ambot, it will hurt you a lot. So it means that you just put it in someone's backfield and people just have to deal with it. They're forced to deal with it. If they don't deal with it, it's in your face and it is a problem. At the very top of tier 1, we have Van Saar's specific brute, and this is the Arachnne Rig servo suit. This one is bloody great. I absolutely love the Arachnne Rig. It's so good, and it's got so much DACA as well. So what I was saying about the Vartig earlier being the most shooty brute, this one's also very shooty, and it's a bit better at it generally as well. It's 240 credits for an Arachnne Rig suit here. They're movement 5, so they've got average movement, which is quite nice. Average weapon skill and ballistic skill of 4+, strength 5, toughness 4, 3 wounds, but attacks 4 as well. This thing can really mix it up for you, your Van Saar gangs. And I have to say, it's worth pointing out, I do think this brute offers a lot for Van Saar gangs, because not only is it also very shooty like the rest of your Van Saar gang, it's also quite fighty as well. And that's something that Van Saar really need, I would say. It comes with the twin-linked heavy las carbine. That is a unique weapon to this brute. They're 15-inch short range, 30-inch long range, so longer than a las gun. They are +1 to hit at that 15 range, and they are strength 4, damage 1, 4+ ammo, plentiful, and rapid fire 3. They come with a servo arm, or 4 of these servo arms as well, and they are just strength as user, but they are 3-inch versatile as well. Pretty damn good. So, you know, +1 to hit at that versatile range. You're hitting at weapon skill 3+ with an, a charge range of 10, 11 inches, something like that. It's pretty damn good. You can swap the servo arms out for extra rad guns and plasma guns as well, which is very scary too. And you get light carapace armor, so a 4+ save on this one as well. Pretty damn solid, right? There's nothing really to complain about on this one. Let's have a look at the special rules for a second. So again, they've got twin linked on that rapid fire 3 weapon, meaning that when a fighter makes a ranged attack, they may re-roll any number of the ammo dice. So if you roll a bunch out of ammo, just re-roll them and you might get 9 shots off with your whopping strength 4 las weapon. So pretty damn good. You've got to accept the second result though if it's worse. You also get Van Saar protective gear as well. So they're immune to the effects of radphage and they can't suffer the additional flesh wounds, things like that as well. So that's pretty much the same as the rest of your Van Saar. They've also got the superior weapons array as well. So rather than making a single shoot basic each turn, the fighter may make 2 simple shoots. So they basically have fast shot with a strength 4 rapid fire 3 weapon, and you can target different enemies with that as well. So really, really good. And the skill access is shooting as a primary too. So these things can get really scary. You can also upgrade them to have heavy carapace armor too, so they're even more tanky. I absolutely love the Arachnne Rig, and I know you're saying, Damon, you don't normally say nice things about Van Saar, but the Arachnne Rig is right up there as one of my, if not my favourite brute, actually. So there you go. Now, there's one missing from this list. Did you work out which one it was? This is what I would say is tier 0. Where did I score it? Like, the bottom, the Zerker was 22 points. Tier 0 is 36 points. So there's quite a big difference between a Zerker and the Piscian Spectre, which is Delac's brute. Now, this one, I think, is a little bit broken. If I'm honest, it is way too good. It is just unbelievably terrifying. 205 credits. You get it as part of your Delac specialist box. So you don't have to go to Forge World for it. So that means you're going to see more of it, unfortunately, because people are nearly always going to build one of these from the box and play it on the table, because why wouldn't you? It is so bloody good. The stats are pretty good for a brute, you know, movement 5, weapon skill 3+, which is great. Ballistic skill 5+, only strength and toughness 4, so it's a little bit weaker than some of the other brutes. It's wounds 3 and it's attacks 4 with initiative 3 up as well. But here's where it gets interesting. It comes with paired psychomantic claws. So paired psychomantic claws, they are 3-inch versatile, giving you extra threat range of a possible 11 inches, including that D3 charge. They're strength +1, so strength 5. They are paired, of course, so you get double your base attacks, which, by the way, are 4, meaning that goes to 8, and then you're charging, and then you've got the extra attack. That is 10 attacks on the charge, hitting at 3s, at +1 strength, at range, by the way, with versatile, with phase and shock. So, you know, your natural hits are auto-wounding on 6s. You've got phase as well, meaning that you just don't get a save against it. It is horrific, which makes this fighter, in fact, the Piscian Spectre, arguably the best close combat fighter throughout in the entirety of Necromunda. So have a think about that for a second. It doesn't sit well with me, and I would say that Delac, you know, they're not known for their close combat prowess, but this thing is utterly ridiculously good in close combat. So anything it charges is just automatically deleted. I can't really see any opportunity for anything to survive the onslaught of this guy charging at you with that weapon. So there you go. Also has Fearsome, by the way, to further rub salt in the wound. So if you want to charge this thing, you've got to pass the willpower check there as well. And, you know, it comes with light carapace armor as well, so a 4+ save there too. It flies. So it doesn't just move, it flies. It can just run up a building, fly up a building and attack you with those 10 attacks at range again. And that is really a problem as well. The fact that it flies just makes this thing really scary as well. And then they've decided that that wasn't enough, so why not give it weird powers as well? So let's just get into the weird powers now. Yeah, I mean, whoever it was who was writing the rules for the Piscian Spectre was clearly smoking something that day, because they've then given the already absolutely fearsome and ridiculous close combat monster that this is some weird powers. So the Piscian Spectre may also purchase additional weird powers for 30 credits as well. And it has a willpower of 6+, by the way, so it can certainly do stuff with these weird powers. Oh, mate, it's just too good. It's a non-sanctioned Psyker. Psychoteric Mastery as well as a special rule here. Fighter must choose one discipline, between Madness, Delusion, and Darkness. That's the same as your general Delac there as well, so you can't mix and match from different disciplines and stuff, but it costs extra XP to go outside of that and stuff as well with your general weird powers too. Anyway, I'm completely rambling because, honestly, the Piscian Spectre is just ridiculous. To top it off as well, your primary skill access is also Ferocity as well, so you can give this guy Nerves of Steel. And there you go. So that is my complete tier list for brutes. Sorry it was a long one. I was waffling a lot with this one. I personally feel like brutes are, although very fun and very cool, there's something that really should be introduced in later campaigns. I don't feel like these things should be bought straight away. They're usually too powerful for what they are. And as you can see, the vast majority of the brutes that I've gone through here are either in tier 1 or at the very, very top. So actually, the bad ones aren't even that bad, There are only a few ones that I would say aren't worth taking. The rest of the brutes are very, very good and usually worth it for the credit cost as well. So be careful with these things. I think they are all a little bit broken at times. But again, if everyone's got a brute then it's fair game, I suppose. But I like to limit them in my campaigns where possible, because they can be just game-breakingly powerful, as you've seen with the Piscian Spectre. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video real soon. Peace out.